Yeah, it's a very exciting day, and we're surrounded by activity. If it's not military bands, it's people cleaning the streets. But it's all happening here as we get ready.
Yeah, now, lots of important roles for all sorts of people, particularly the Archbishop of York. You, of course, will be having challenges as well for people like the Bishop of Durham. I've been reading about him. He and his colleague have to make sure that the King doesn't trip up today.
Yes, I think we've had lots of rehearsals, well, every day this week, but also for the last couple of weeks. And it's a beautiful, very grand, but quite a complicated service. Getting the choreography right and the right things handed in the right order, in the right place, has taken some practice. And yes, I think the King, you know, he's concerned that he's not going to trip over the robes while he's holding orbs and sceptres. So we've had a lot of smiles as we've worked out what to do. But I know it's going to be a very, very beautiful, a very moving, and I hope a very meaningful service for all of us, whether we're taking part, as I have the honour to do, or whether you're watching at home.
Yeah, what is going to be, I'm going to guess you're going to say the anointing, but I'm going to ask you anyway, the most important part for you as a man of the cloth?
Yeah, well, I think for me the most important part actually is the very opening words, which is one of the new things in what is obviously a very historic service. But the very first thing the King says, first of all, he's addressed by a child. And the first thing he says is, words of Jesus, I come not to be served, but to serve. And I believe that's very important for King Charles. It's a note that struck throughout the service, that leadership is about service. That's what we want in our leaders, and I believe that's what his mother, the Queen, and King Charles, I think that's how they see monarchy. So actually that opening sentence is probably, for me, the most moving of all, though there's lots of other wonderful things to follow.
Archbishop, I wonder if you have a view on the homage of the people. There was a little bit of controversy over that when the Archbishop of Canterbury talked about it. Suggestions that the British public and others should say, I swear that I will pay true allegiance to your majesty and to your heirs and successors according to law, so help me God. Do you think it's a good idea?
Well, of course, in British public life, many of us, myself as a minister in the Church of England and as a member of the House of Lords, people in the armed forces, it's quite a normal thing for many of us to swear an oath of allegiance, which is about our belonging to one another within our nation, which obviously the King is our head of state. So on the one hand, it's a very ordinary thing to do. I think it was a good idea to open or to extend an invitation for everybody to do that if they wished. But I think the point I'd simply want to make is let's not get too hung up on this. It's an invitation. And I know there are many people who, for instance, when the national anthem comes on the telly, they stand up and sing. And so I think for many people, they will be glad to join in some way from their sitting rooms. But nobody has to.
Yeah, just before I let you go, you're closer to God than I. I'm sure that you've had a word with upstairs. Is it going to rain?
Well, I think it is going to rain, but rain is a sign of blessing. In fact, I was chatting with the King yesterday about this, and we both agreed that obviously we'd prefer it if it was a sunny day, but we're going to take the rain as a sign of blessing. I mean, I feel sorry. With the rain, I feel sorry for the thousands of people who are lining the streets. It's going to be hard for them. But there we are. We can't do anything about that. But what we can do is enjoy the day.
First good name drop of the day, and what a one it was when I was speaking to the King just yesterday. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Enjoy the service. Thank you.